The man in the mirror versus the world's perception. Many times when we speak about Michael Jackson's legacy, we don't often touch on the weight and the burden that success and legacy played on him. You can see just how heavy the weight was when you look at his evolution within his appearance. Many simply blame the evolution of his appearance on his skin condition. However, I think it goes merely beyond that and touches on how addicted one can become when it comes to seeking perfection and how addicted the needle of plastic surgery can be. Oh, the pressure of perfection that Michael Jackson had to face while on this earth.
Christ's love isn't like everybody else's love. It's not like the world's love. The world's love loves you when you do things right or when you do things with them. But as soon as you make a mistake, they take that love away. But what I've experienced with the love of Christ is that it loves first. It loves through wrongdoing. It loves when you shouldn't be loved anymore. It's unconditional. And that's the love that I believe is going to change the world and has changed me.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Micaiah. I'm back and I'm black and I'm back and I'm black and I'm back and I'm black and I'm back and I'm black.
Sasha here. Excuse me? Supermodels do not fly business class. Now, I'm not going to demand a private jet, but I think Jag could at least spring for first class.
And today I am bringing you all another video, off-camera edition, diving into Michael Jackson's drive and aim for perfection. And I think that has a lot to do also with the spotlight he had on him. I don't think there will ever be another artist such as him. But a lot of times when we're talking about his legacy, we don't speak on how at the end of his life he became unrecognizable and it was a different being that we seen in front of us. And it just showed us the weight that he carried and also a lot of the insecurities that he had. He had numerous nose operations, and it really saddened me to even look at these pictures. Is because I wish he knew how the Lord made him and how there was no mistake about him. And I know when he was younger, he was bullied for his nose and various different things. And he had a lot of weight and pressure on him at such a young age, him leading the Jackson 5. There was so much that was created around him where I also empathize how he came to be what it turned out to be and how he looked. But before we get started, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to see more of me. And if you're new, hey. And if you're a returner, I really, truly appreciate the love. If you get the chance, please check out my social media platforms down within the description box and on the screen, where I display my passion for fashion along with other interests that I have. And for all who are new, you should know I do an array of topics. I am extremely diverse. I do more nerdy topics, I do nostalgic topics, and I do more conscious topics. Plus, I dibble and dabble within vlogs. So we do a little bit of everything around here. So if you're diverse, such as myself, then you'll most definitely love it over here. So let's get back into the video. The world witnessed a legend. Yet I often ponder what Michael Jackson perceived when he gazed into the mirror. How is it possible to be one of the most revered figures on earth and still feel the urge to alter your appearance? Behind the fame, the spotlight, and the enduring legacy, there was a man on a quest for something we all seek, the comfort of being at ease in your own skin. Perhaps the true tragedy lies not in the extent of his transformation, but in the fact that he never completely recognized the beauty he possessed within. Michael Jackson was raised in an environment of scrutiny that few individuals ever encounter. Child star before he grasped his own identity. Ongoing criticism from his father, siblings, the public remarks about his looks from a very young age. There are all well-documented instances where he mentioned being labeled as quote-unquote ugly during his childhood, especially regarding his nose and skin.
I would never look at myself in the mirror, ever. I would turn off all the lights, and because I had pimples really badly, And it was just difficult and to face the public. One time we were in an airport, I remember, I think it was somewhere like Virginia or something. And some lady recognized my brothers and all of us. She goes, "Oh my God, it's the Jackson 5. Where's little Michael? Where's little Michael?" She's looking around, looking down. "Where's little Michael?" And another person goes, "There he is." And she goes, "Ugh, what happened?" Just like that. And God, I just could have died right there. That's exactly what that lady said to me.
Did your father and your brothers tease you about your appearance as an adolescent?
My father did. And some cousins did.
What did your father say?
Oh, God. Yeah. It was pretty embarrassing. He used to tease me real bad about it.
It's cruel, isn't it?
Yeah, it used to hurt me. I don't think he realized how much he was hurting me.
What sort of thing did he say?
He would tease me about how I looked, and he would say, "Well, you didn't get it from my side of the family. It must have been on Kate." You know, Kate, he would always say, meaning my mother. "You didn't get that from me." I feel like saying, "Thanks for making me feel better," you know. Because I don't think how bad he didn't even laugh. I don't think people don't stop to think what they're saying sometimes and the effect it can have on a person, you know. Then one cousin would always, you know, like this to me when he see me, like, want to pop my pimples. I would just go to the bedroom and cry, you know.
Is it true that your father used to say you had a fat nose?
Yeah.
What did he say? What did he actually say?
"God, your nose is big. You didn't get it from me."
What does that do to someone who's going through adolescence?
You want to die. You want to die. And on top of it, you got to go on stage in the spotlight in front of hundreds of thousands of people and just, God, it's just hard. I would have been happier wearing a mask.
The previous clip showed us firsthand that words have power. This world teaches us that sticks and stones can't break my bones, but indeed they can. Words hold so much weight. There's power in the tongue. And at the end of the clip, he said, it felt like I just wanted to wear a mask. And to me, where we ended up at regarding his appearance was simply a mask. Such messaging, particularly during crucial developmental years, can have a lasting impact on how a person perceives themselves. Thus, while the world ultimately recognized beauty, charisma, and uniqueness, he might have continued to view himself through the lens of the early criticism he faced. There is a widespread belief that receiving admiration can resolve feelings of insecurity. It truly does not. In fact, being famous can often amplify those insecurities. Michael Jackson experienced endless photography, endless comparisons, endless scrutiny. Every aspect of him became a topic of public discussion. When your appearance is subject to global debate, forming a consistent self-image becomes challenging. Rather than perceiving yourself authentically, you start to view yourself through the lens of countless opinions. Michael suffered from vitiligo, a skin disorder that leads to patchy loss of pigmentation. This was not mere speculation. It was verified and recorded. For someone already facing intense public scrutiny, vitiligo introduced an additional challenge. Uneven skin tone becoming increasingly noticeable, heightened focus on his appearance, pressure to achieve a more uniform look for public engagement. He opted to depigment his skin to achieve consistency. That choice is frequently misinterpreted, but given his circumstances, always in the spotlight, it probably felt like a way to regain control over something that was otherwise unpredictable.
We're going to be discussing the topic from the first video, which is the topical creams that Michael resorted to using because the vitiligo was so severe as an option per the recommendation of his dermatologist, Dr. Arnold Klein. So you might be thinking, Samaya, that's definitely bleach, because you said that it stops the cells that produce the melanin from coming through. And I want to stop you right in your tracks with that. Now, the reason why this is not considered skin bleaching, and I'm going to explain it in depth, derives from the purpose, the mechanisms of why these topical creams are being used. Okay. So for hydroquinone, it's used to treat hyperpigmentation and fade dark spots. Okay. So the purpose of this cream, it reduces the outcome of the melanite cells, but it does not stop production of them. Okay. It doesn't destroy the cells permanently. Using this cream, if you decided to stop using it, you can reverse the effects. So once you stop using hydroquinone, you will see your melanite cells come back. Okay, so I was mispronouncing it wrong. Banaquin is the stronger cream. Now, this is a powerful, like I said, depigmentation topical cream. It's used to lighten the skin when you have patients like Michael Jackson where 50% of their body is being affected by vitiligo, okay? It's because so much of your body is affected by the vitiligo, we're just going to turn the other half because it's merely impossible to reverse that, okay? Like stated, this cream actually destroys the melanite cells that produce the melanin, which will stop all your brown. This is just going to have you one full uniform color. This effect is irreversible. This is to give you one concise look versus being splotchy, okay? So the reason why using the topical creams in Michael Jackson's point is not skin bleaching is because of this one simple fact. Skin bleaching is derived from a racial standpoint to cosmetically fit into a beauty standard that you see fit. Okay, Michael did not want to bleach his skin because he did not want to be black. Okay, Michael used these lightening agents to make his skin one uniform color because it was taking over his entire body. That right there is the standalone fact. More than 50% of his body was affected by vitiligo, and he made the executive decision with the recommendation from Dr. Arnold Klein to use these creams. That way he was more uniformed. Now, if Michael did bleach his skin, I'm going to show you a celebrity that bleached their skin that was darker than Michael and how they looked. So right here is a well-known baseball player named by Sammy Sosa who underwent crazy bleaching. Now, notice with bleaching, he's dark in his knuckles. These are areas that don't lift when you're bleaching. Your knuckles, your elbows, your knees, around the eyes. They're not going to really take bleach. Well, this is dangerous around your eyes anyway. But notice how he's not Michael's color. Michael is ghostly white. Michael is ghostly white. And this is with makeup on. So on camera, he didn't even look this white. But of course, this is flashback because the makeup sucked during his time period. But you notice there's no dark spots because he was not bleaching. He was using the topical creams. Now here is a photo where he was using the hydroquinone on his arms, and you see they still have smaller spots, but the remaining of his body is affected by the vitiligo. This is how severe Michael's case was. So he would use the hydroquinone on these spots that are left remaining, and they would fade them over time. So this is something that is not done within a day, a week. You have to constantly reapply. You have to be consistent. And it's done over the course of months and even years. So even with him passing, he still had spots all over his legs. This is why we never seen his legs, and I don't think he really cared much about showing his legs anyway. So the main takeaway with vitiligo, in addition to lupus, is that using these topical creams, it creates a crazy sensitivity to UV light, to sunlight. So in many interviews, he would say, I'm allergic to the sun. He was not lying. Using these creams, you're more susceptible to getting sunburns, sun cancer. Like, this is why you always seen him with an umbrella. He oftentimes wore mask. You know, like I said, in the lupus video, this could be covering the discoid lesions, or this could just be protecting his face. This is why his concerts were always at nighttime, because he could not afford to be in the sun recklessly, unless it was something that he could not control, it being, you know, whatever. Like, even the Super Bowl, when he tried to do that, he wanted to do it at nighttime. So this is why you always see him be covered and wear long sleeves. It's very rare that you've seen him wear short sleeves with the vitiligo, okay?
About the whiteness of your skin.
What do you say to people who say, well, when Michael Jackson was a boy, he was a black kid, and now as an adult, he looks like a white man?
Well, you gotta ask God that. That has nothing to do with me, okay? I don't control, you know, puberty. I don't control the fact that I have vitiligo. I have a skin disorder that destroys the pigmentation of the skin. It's something that I cannot help, okay? But when people make up stories that I don't want to be who I am, it hurts me. It's a problem for me, okay? I can't control it, okay? It's in my family. My father said it's on his side. I can't control it. I don't understand. I mean, it makes me very sad. I don't want to go into my medical history because that's something that's private, but that's the situation here. Which was a rumor. It said I was putting on cream to make myself lighter. That's not true.
Michael has indeed gone through several cosmetic procedures. He has openly admitted to a few, yet many believe there are additional ones. However, it's crucial to view this not merely as vanity, but rather as control. When an individual feels unhappy with their appearance, particularly under the watchful eyes of the world, changing their looks can seem like reclaiming their power. Yet, there exists a psychological boundary where control turns into compulsion. Every alteration prompts another challenge. Each modification alters the reference point, and gradually, the reflection in the mirror becomes increasingly unrecognizable, not only to others, but perhaps even to themselves. Michael Jackson was more than just an artist. He was truly an icon. And icons are frequently held to standards where they are expected to be flawless, constantly evolving, yet always perfect. This is an unattainable expectation. Thus, the burden of upholding a specific image or transforming it can be incredibly intense, particularly during a time when discussions about mental health and body image were not as prevalent as they are today. What makes Michael's story heartbreaking is externally he was cherished. Internally, there was indications of his battle with self-esteem. This disconnect is something that many individuals can identify with, on a lesser scale, of course, but the distinction is his struggle unfolded in front of a worldwide audience. It's simple to reflect on the significant physical changes he underwent, but we also must keep in mind his artistry continued to be impactful. His influence persisted. His presence still struck a chord. The core of his being, both creatively and emotionally, remained intact, even if his looks transformed in ways that some found hard to grasp. It acknowledges that an individual who contributed immensely to the world, music, joy, innovation, might have found it difficult to extend the same kindness to himself. This is the deeply human aspect of MJ's narrative. At the heart of the icon was a person who, like so many others, was still seeking to feel at ease in his own identity. So I thank you all for watching. Please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed. Please leave your thoughts and perspectives on the matter. Do you agree? Do you disagree? I am open to all perspectives, but as I always state, we must be respectful down within the comment section. And I want you all to remember that you are loved by the God who created the universe. He made you for such a special purpose. He handpicked you. So I thank you all so much for sharing this moment with me, and I can't wait to check you all out in the next video. Stay blessed, everyone.